Maya Torres wiped down the counter of Bella's cafe for the third time that hour, her fingers trembling with exhaustion. 3 jobs. She was working 3 jobs just to keep her younger sister in college and pay off their mother's hospital bills. The cafe job was supposed to be the easy one. "Excuse me," a deep voice cut through her thoughts. Maya looked up and felt her breath catch. The man standing before her was devastatingly handsome, tall, broad-shouldered, with jet black hair and piercing grey eyes that seemed to look right through her. He wore a black suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. But it was 9:58 p.m. Closing time was 10 p.m. "We're closing in 2 minutes, Maya said, exhaustion making her voice sharper than intended. His jaw tightened. "I just need a coffee. Black. It'll take 30 seconds. "I've already cleaned the machines," she lied, desperate to leave on time for once. She had her night shift at the convenience store starting at 10:30 p.m. The man's eyes narrowed. He pulled out his wallet and placed a $100 bill on the counter. "For your trouble." Something about his arrogance ignited a fire in Maya's chest. She'd been pushed around all day, by customers, by her bosses, by life itself. This entitled rich man thought he could just wave money around and get whatever he wanted. "Money doesn't buy you special treatment," Maya said, sliding the bill back across the counter. "We're closed. There's a 24-hour coffee shop 2 blocks down." For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Surprise, maybe even respect. Then his expression hardened. "You just made a serious mistake," he said quietly, his voice carrying an edge that sent chills down her spine. "The only mistake would be me losing this job because I stayed late for you and got written up again," Maya shot back. "Now please leave, or I'll call the police." The man stared at her for a long, tense moment. Then, without another word, he turned and walked out, the door chiming behind him. Maya's manager, Susan, emerged from the back room, eyes wide. "Please tell me you didn't just kick out a customer." "He came at closing time," Maya defended herself. "Maya, this is the 3rd complaint this month. I'm sorry, but I have to let you go." Maya's world tilted. "Susan, please. I'll mail your final paycheck. Leave your apron and keys." 2 weeks later, Maya was running out of options. She'd applied to 50 jobs and gotten 1 interview, for an executive assistant position at Moretti Industries. The pay was incredible, almost too good to be true, but she couldn't afford to be suspicious. She wore her only professional outfit, a slightly worn black pencil skirt and white blouse, and took 3 buses to reach the gleaming skyscraper in downtown. The office was intimidating. Marble floors, glass walls, and people in designer suits rushing past with purpose. Maya's hands were sweating as she checked in with reception. "5th floor, conference room B," the receptionist said with a polite smile. "Mr. Moretti is running a few minutes behind." Maya nodded, her heart pounding. The name Moretti sounded familiar, but she couldn't place it. She waited in the plush conference room, rehearsing her answers to common interview questions. She needed this job desperately. With the cafe job gone, she was barely making ends meet. The door opened. Maya looked up and felt the blood drain from her face. It was him. The man from the cafe. The one she'd thrown out. He stopped in the doorway, recognition flashing across his sharp features. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "You," Maya whispered. "You," he echoed, closing the door behind him with a quiet click. He moved to the head of the table with predatory grace and sat down, his grey eyes never leaving hers. "Maya Torres. 26. Working 3 jobs to support your family. Student loans, medical debt, spotty employment record." The way he said it, cold, clinical, made Maya want to sink through the floor. "Mr. Moretti, Dante," he interrupted. "And before you apologize, I want you to know that I respect what you did that night." Maya blinked in confusion. "What?" "You stood your ground. You didn't let me bully you with money or intimidation." Dante leaned back in his chair, studying her with those intense grey eyes. "Most people in your position would have rolled over immediately. But you have a spine. That's rare. That's valuable. So, you're not going to reject me because I kicked you out of a cafe?" A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "On the contrary. You're exactly the kind of person I need by my side." His expression turned serious. "But I need to be honest with you about what this job entails. My businesses are legitimate, but my family's history is complicated. I've spent the last 5 years cleaning up my father's empire, but there are still people who see the Moretti name and think mafia. Maya's stomach dropped. Are you? I'm a businessman, Dante said firmly. But I operate in a world where business often intersects with danger. If you work for me, you'll need to be discreet, observant, and above all, trustworthy. You'll see things, hear things, that can never leave this building. Every rational part of Maya screamed at her to walk away, but the salary he was offering could change her life, could save her family. I understand, she heard herself say. Then you start Monday. Maya quickly discovered that working for Dante Moretti was unlike anything she'd experienced. He was demanding but fair, cold but occasionally showing glimpses of unexpected kindness. He remembered how she took her coffee. He noticed when she stayed late and ordered her dinner without being asked. But there were strange things too. Men in dark suits who visited without appointments. Hushed phone conversations in Italian. The way Dante's entire demeanor changed when certain names were mentioned. 1 month into the job, everything changed. Maya was working late, organizing files in Dante's office while he took a call. She wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but his raised voice made it impossible not to hear. I don't care what Salvatore wants. The answer is no. Because I'm not my father, and I won't build this company on blood money. He threatens me. Tell him I said. The office door burst open. 3 men stormed in, guns drawn. Maya screamed. Dante moved with shocking speed, pulling her behind his desk and shielding her with his body. Stay down, he commanded. Dante Moretti, one of the men sneered. Salvatore sends his regards. What happened next was a blur. Dante's security team flooded the room. There were shouts, gunshots, and then silence. When Maya dared to look up, the intruders were being dragged out by security. Dante still had his arms around her, his heart pounding against her back. Are you hurt? He asked, his voice rough with emotion. No. You. I'm fine. But he didn't let go. Maya, I'm sorry. I should have protected you better. I should have. You saved my life, Maya whispered, turning to face him. Their faces were inches apart. For a moment, the air between them crackled with tension. Then Dante pulled back abruptly, his expression shuddering. I'll have security take you home. Take tomorrow off. Dante. That's an order, Ms. Torres. The return to formality felt like a slap. But as Maya left the office, she couldn't stop thinking about how safe she'd felt in his arms, even in the middle of danger. After the attack, Dante became even more protective. He hired a personal bodyguard for Maya, a stern woman named Rosa who followed her everywhere. He moved her to a safer apartment building, one he owned, claiming it was company policy for executives in danger. Maya knew she should be grateful. Instead, she felt suffocated. I'm not your responsibility, she told him one evening, confronting him in his office. I'm your employee. You're more than that, Dante said quietly, not looking up from his paperwork. Maya's heart skipped. What? You're someone under my protection. That attack happened because of me. I won't let you pay for my enemy's grudges. Is that all I am to you? A responsibility? Dante's pen stilled. Slowly, he looked up at her, and the intensity in his eyes made her breath catch. Maya, if I answer that honestly, everything changes. Maybe I want things to change, she whispered. Dante stood, moving around the desk with deliberate slowness. You don't know what you're asking for. I'm not a good man. I've done things I can never take back. I live in a world where people I care about become targets. You think I don't know that? Maya stepped closer, courage flooding through her. I've seen your world, Dante. And I'm still here. Why? His voice was raw, vulnerable in a way she'd never heard. Why would you stay? Because underneath all that ice and control, I see who you really are. You're a man trying to build something better. You're a man who remembers how I take my coffee and makes sure I eat dinner. You're a man who threw himself in front of bullets for me without hesitation. Dante's jaw clenched. Maya. And I think you feel something for me too. Something you're trying very hard to deny. The silence stretched between them, electric and heavy. Then Dante did something that shocked them both. He reached out and cupped her face gently, his thumb brushing her cheek. "I've been trying to deny it since the moment you threw me out of that cafe," he admitted. "You were so fierce, so unimpressed by my money or power. Do you know how rare that is in my world? How intoxicating?" Maya's breath hitched. "Then stop denying it. If I kiss you right now, there's no going back. You become mine, and I become yours. That means the danger, the enemies, the constant threat, all of it becomes yours too." "I'm already in danger just by working for you," Maya pointed out. "At least this way, I get you too." Dante's laugh was soft, almost disbelieving. Then he leaned down and kissed her. It was nothing like Maya expected. It was gentle, reverent, as if she were something precious that might break. When he pulled back, his eyes were storm-dark with emotion. "You have no idea what you've just agreed to," he murmured against her lips. "Then show me." The next few months were the happiest of Maya's life, and the most terrifying. Dating Dante meant entering a world of five-star restaurants and private jets, but also bodyguards and bulletproof cars. It meant learning to read the room at business dinners where every smile hid a knife. It meant watching Dante disappear for days to handle situations he wouldn't explain. But it also meant late nights in his penthouse, where the formidable Dante Moretti became just Dante, a man who loved old movies, cooked surprisingly well, and looked at her like she was his entire world. "Tell me about your family," Maya asked one night, curled against his chest on the couch. Dante stiffened slightly. "What do you want to know?" "Everything. You know everything about me, but you're still a mystery." He was quiet for a long moment. "My father was a monster. He built his empire on violence, extortion, and fear. When he died 5 years ago, I inherited an empire that was rotting from the inside." "So you cleaned it up?" "I tried. I cut ties with the illegal operations, paid restitution to victims, reinvested in legitimate businesses. But people like Salvatore, they're remnants of my father's world. They want me to return to the old ways." "And you won't?" "Never." His arms tightened around her. "I've seen what that world does to people. It destroyed my mother, drove my sister away. I won't let it destroy you too. Dante, I'm stronger than you think." "I know you are, Tesoro. That's what terrifies me." Before Maya could respond, Dante's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and went rigid. "What is it?" "Salvatore took your sister." Maya's world stopped. "What?" Dante was already moving, grabbing his jacket and keys. "He's demanding I meet him alone or he'll hurt her. It's a trap, obviously, but..." "I'm coming with you." "Absolutely not. She's my sister, Dante." His eyes blazed with emotion, fear, anger, love. "And you're my everything. I can't lose you." "You won't." Maya grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. "But I won't let you walk into a trap alone either. We do this together, or not at all." For a moment, she thought he'd refuse. Then he nodded grimly. "Together. But you stay behind me, and if I tell you to run, you run. Promise me." "I promise." The warehouse was dark, filled with shadows and the smell of rust. Maya's hand was clammy in Dante's grip as they walked inside, surrounded by his security team. "Dante Moretti." Salvatore's voice echoed through the space. "You came. How romantic." Lights flickered on, revealing Salvatore, a heavy-set man with cruel eyes, standing on a platform. Next to him, tied to a chair, was Maya's sister Emma, her face tear-streaked but defiant. "Let her go, Salvatore," Dante said, his voice deadly calm. "Your fight is with me." "Oh, but where's the fun in that?" Salvatore pulled out a gun, pressing it to Emma's temple. "You see, I've realized something. You don't fear for yourself anymore. You've made your peace with death. But her..." He gestured to Maya. "She's your weakness. Touch her, and I'll make your death last days," Dante promised, his voice like ice. Salvatore laughed. "Big words. But you're not your father, Dante. You don't have the stomach for real violence anymore. You've gone soft." "I've gone smart," Dante corrected. He pulled out his phone and pressed a button. "Tell me, Salvatore, where's your wife right now?" Your children. Salvatore's smile faltered. They're safe in my protection, Dante continued. Because unlike you, I don't hurt innocent people. But I'll make you an offer. Surrender now, face justice for your crimes, and your family stays protected. Or continue this, and I'll make sure every empire you've built crumbles. Every ally you have will turn. Every secret you're hiding will be exposed. You're bluffing. Am I? Dante's smile was sharp. Your accounts in the Caimans? Frozen. Your shipments from overseas? Seized. Your contacts in the police department? Already flipped and testifying against you. I've spent 6 months building a case that will put you away for life, if you're lucky. Maya watched as understanding dawned on Salvatore's face, followed by rage. You arrogant, he aimed the gun at Dante. Everything happened at once. Emma threw herself sideways, toppling the chair. Dante's security team opened fire. Salvatore's men emerged from the shadows, and suddenly the warehouse was a war zone. Run! Dante shouted, pushing Maya toward the exit. But Maya saw Emma struggling with her bonds and made a split-second decision. She ran toward her sister instead, sliding across the floor and working frantically to untie her. Maya, what are you? Get out of here. Emma sobbed. Not without you. A shadow fell over them. Maya looked up to see one of Salvatore's men, gun raised. Then Dante was there, taking the man down with brutal efficiency. I told you to run, he growled, but there was relief in his eyes. Since when do I follow orders? Maya shot back, finally freeing Emma. Dante's laugh was breathless. Stubborn woman. You're stubborn woman. The fight was ending. Salvatore was in custody, his men either captured or fleeing. It was over. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of police statements, legal proceedings, and media attention. The story of the Mafia heir turned legitimate businessman taking down his father's former associate became national news. Through it all, Dante was there, steady, protective, but also giving Maya space to process the trauma. I almost got us all killed, Maya said one night, standing on the balcony of Dante's penthouse. You saved your sister, Dante corrected, wrapping his arms around her from behind. You were brave and selfless, and I'm so proud of you. Also terrified. But mostly proud. Maya leaned into his warmth. Is it always going to be like this? Danger and threats? No. His voice was firm. With Salvatore's arrest, the last of my father's old guard is gone. The people I do business with now are legitimate. There will always be some risk, that's the nature of wealth and power, but nothing like this. I promise you, Tesoro. I want to believe that. Then believe in us. Believe that we're strong enough to handle whatever comes. Maya turned in his arms, looking up at his handsome face. I do believe in us. I love you, Dante Moretti. His eyes softened with an emotion so intense it took her breath away. I love you too. From the moment you refused to be intimidated by me in that cafe, I was lost. You're my light in the darkness, Maya. My redemption. That's a lot of pressure, she teased, trying to lighten the moment. You can handle it. You can handle anything. He kissed her forehead. But you shouldn't have to alone. Which is why. Dante pulled back and, to Maya's shock, dropped to one knee. What are you? Maya Torres. You walked into my life and changed everything. You saw past the money, the power, the dark history, and loved the man underneath. You stood by me through literal gunfights. His smile was tender. I can't promise you a normal life, but I can promise you all of me, for the rest of our lives. Will you marry me? The ring was stunning, a simple diamond that caught the city lights. But Maya barely saw it through her tears. Yes, she whispered. Yes, 1,000 times yes. When he slipped the ring on her finger and stood to kiss her, Maya felt like her heart might burst. This man, this complicated, intense, formerly cold man, was hers. I'm going to spend every day proving you made the right choice, Dante murmured against her lips. You already have. 6 months later, Maya stood in a private villa in Tuscany, looking at herself in the mirror. The wedding dress was elegant and simple, exactly what she wanted. Emma fussed with her veil, tears already streaming down her face. Stop crying, you'll make me cry, Maya laughed. I can't help it. You're marrying a literal billionaire. A hot billionaire. Who's completely in love with you. When you put it that way, it does sound like a fairy tale. It is, Emma said seriously. After everything we've been through, Dad leaving, Mom's illness, barely scraping by, you deserve this happiness. There was a knock at the door. Rosa, who had become a friend as well as a bodyguard, poked her head in. It's time. Maya's heart raced as she walked down the flower-lined path to where the ceremony was being held. It was a small gathering, just close friends and family. Dante had wanted it intimate, personal. And then she saw him, waiting at the altar in a black tuxedo, and nothing else mattered. His expression when he saw her was everything, love, awe, and a vulnerability he only ever showed her. When she reached him, he took her hands, and she felt him trembling slightly. You're shaking, she whispered. I'm terrified, he admitted with a soft smile. Terrified that I'll wake up and this will all be a dream. It's real, she promised. We're real. The ceremony was beautiful. When it came time for vows, Dante's voice was thick with emotion. Maya, you saw me at my worst and chose to stay. You challenged me, changed me, saved me. You're my partner, my love, my home. I vow to protect you, cherish you, and love you fiercely for the rest of my life. You'll never face the world alone again. Maya's own vows were tear-filled. Dante, you taught me that strength comes in many forms. That redemption is possible. That love can flourish even in the darkest places. I vow to stand by your side, to be your light as you are mine, and to love you through every challenge life brings. You're my unexpected happily ever after. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, Dante's kiss was deep and full of promise. The reception was joyful, filled with laughter and dancing. Maya watched Dante charm Emma, saw him smile more freely than she'd ever seen, and felt overwhelmed with gratitude. Happy? Dante asked, pulling her onto the dance floor for their first dance as husband and wife. Deliriously. You. I didn't think I was capable of feeling this content, he admitted. You've given me something I thought was lost forever, hope for the future. Our future, Maya corrected. Together. Together, he agreed, spinning her under the Tuscan stars. 2 years later, Maya Moretti, she still hadn't gotten used to the name, sat in her office at the Moretti Foundation, reviewing grant applications. The foundation, which she and Dante had started together, provided support to families struggling with medical debt and educational expenses. It was her dream realized, helping people the way she wished someone had helped her family. Mrs. Moretti. Her assistant peeked in. Your husband is here. Maya smiled. Dante made a habit of dropping by at least once a day, usually with coffee and some excuse about needing her signature on something. Today, though, he looked nervous. What's wrong? Maya asked immediately. Nothing's wrong. He ran a hand through his hair, a rare gesture of uncertainty. I've been thinking about expanding our family. Maya's heart skipped. They talked about children, but always in abstract terms. You mean? I want a baby with you. Maybe several babies. I want to do it right this time. Be the father mine never was. Give our children the love and stability we both lacked growing up. He took her hands. But only if you want that too. I know your career is important, and I'd never. Maya silenced him with a kiss. I want that. So much. The relief and joy on his face was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Let's make a family, Mr. Moretti. As he pulled her into his arms, Maya reflected on how far they'd come. From a chance encounter in a cafe to building a life together, it hadn't been easy, but it had been worth every moment. She'd rejected a customer and found her soulmate. She'd entered a dangerous world and helped make it better. She'd loved a man everyone called cold and discovered the warmth beneath. And now, together, they were creating something beautiful. I love you, Dante murmured into her hair. I love you too. Forever. Outside the office windows, the city sprawled beneath them, full of possibilities, challenges, and endless tomorrows. But Maya wasn't afraid. Not anymore. She had Dante by her side, and together, they could face anything. Sometimes the person you least expect becomes your everything. And sometimes, The best love stories start with a little defiance and a lot of courage.